Hello children, today I am going to teach you the new term electron gain enthalpy. Electron gain enthalpy, also like ionization potential, it is the periodic property. As what is electron gain enthalpy? When an electron is added in an isolated gaseous atom, some amount of energy is liberated. That energy is known as electron gain enthalpy, or we can say change in the process when an isolated gaseous atom take one electron. The amount of energy change in this process is known as electron gain enthalpy, and its unit is kilojoule per mole. As oxygen atom, when gain one electron, it will form the O- type of monovalent ion. During this process, 141 kilojoule per mole energy is liberated. This energy is known as electron gain enthalpy of the oxygen atom. Electron gain enthalpy also depend upon the certain factors. As first is given here, nuclear charge. Greater the nuclear charge, greater the value of electron gain enthalpy. Second is atomic size. Greater the atomic size, less negative value of electron gain enthalpy. Negative sign indicate that during the process, energy liberated or released. Third factor is electronic configuration. As we know that half-filled and full-filled orbitals are more stable. That's why when the electron is added in this type of atomic orbital, then it is very difficult to add the electron in half-filled or full-filled orbitals. That's why the electron gain enthalpy of such type of orbital is positive, or we can say for this type of atom the electron gain enthalpy is positive in nature. As it is given here, electron gain enthalpy of nitrogen is plus 31. Electron gain enthalpy of the noble gases are positive in, has the positive value because they both second group element. Beryllium, magnesium has the positive value of electron gain enthalpy. Nitrogen has positive value, noble gases has positive value because they have half filled or full filled s or p orbital. So on this basis, when we added one electron to an isolated gaseous atom like oxygen, the process is exothermic in nature, means during the process energy is released. That's why it has the negative sign. Further, when we add one more electron in the monovalent oxygen atom, then during this process, as one electron already extra present in the outermost valence shell, these electrons repel or oppose to addition of the electron. Because of this, to add one more electron, the process becomes endothermic, means it required some amount of energy. That's why it is shown by positive value. Positive value means that process doesn't happen easily. It requires certain amount of energy. That's why it is endothermic process and value is positive in nature. Similar thing with sulfur ion. Halogens have the most negative value of electron enthalpy because when we move from left hand to right hand side, atomic size decreases and nuclear charge increases. That's why they have the negative value, and in this the atomic size govern or dominates over the nuclear charge. That's why when we move from left hand to right hand side, the value, negative value of electron gain enthalpy increases. This is the general term. As here minus 73, boron minus 83, carbon minus 112, oxygen minus 141, fluorine minus 328. So as we move from left hand to right hand side, electron gain enthalpy increases. When we go down in the group, because the atomic size increases, the outermost valence shell is far away from the nucleus, so nuclear attraction towards the electron decreases. That's why electron gain enthalpy decreases. The electron gain enthalpy of chlorine is more than fluorine. This is because of the small size of fluorine. Fluorine atom has a small size, and 2s in fluorine atom, electron entered in 2p orbital, whereas in chlorine electron entered in 3p orbital. So inter-ionic repulsion in the 2p orbital, because it is nearest to the nucleus, is more than inter-electronic repulsion between the 2p orbital is more than the 3p orbital. That's why chlorine has more electron gain enthalpy than the fluorine. Electron gain enthalpy of the hydrogen is, noble gases are positive, because generally all noble gases have stable configuration of NP6, NS2, NP6. So they need not require any electron. That's why it is very difficult to add one electron in these atoms. That's why we have the positive value of electron gain enthalpy. Now, student, your next topic is electronegativity. Electronegativity is the tendency of the bonded atom. As when two atoms form the covalent bond, they share their electron together. If one atom attracts this shared pair electron towards itself more strongly, then we said that atom is more electronegative atom compared to the other atom. Electronegativity is the comparative value. That's why it has no unit. Fluorine is the most electronegative atom. Its electronegativity is assigned as 4. Electronegativity also depends upon certain factors as effective nuclear charge, atomic size, oxidation state, and state of hybridization. As first is the nuclear charge. As we move from left hand to right hand side in the periodic table, nuclear charge increases. That's why the capacity of the atoms to attract the electron towards itself is also increases, and because of this the halogens, which has smallest size among that period, attract the electron more vigorously than other atom in the period. Size of the atom, as the size of the atom increases, electronegativity decreases. That's why down the group electronegativity decreases as the size increases. Oxidation state, if the atom has higher oxidation state, it has a higher electronegativity value. As iron form has two oxidation state, Fe+2 and Fe+3. In Fe+3 state has more electronegativity than the Fe+2 state. The state of hybridization also affect the electronegativity, as sp3 hybrid orbitals, sp2 hybrid orbital and sp hybrid orbital sp hybrid orbital has more s character, means 50% s character and 50% p character. So as the s character increases, electronegativity also increases because they attract the electron towards itself more easily. So carbon show the different electronegativity in different hybridized state. Electronegativity can be measured by using the two scale. First scale is known as Pauling scale, in which we can calculate the electronegativity by using the formula Xa minus Xb, where Xa and Xb are the electronegativity of atom A and B in the covalent bond. Xa minus Xb is equal to 0.208 EAB minus half EAA into EBB, and we have to under root of this value, where EAB is the bond energy of the molecule AB, EAA is the bond energy of the molecule A, EBB is the bond energy of the molecule B. Second scale has given by Mulkin. According to him, the electronegativity of an atom is the arithmetic mean of the ionization potential and electron affinity of the atom. So we can calculate the electronegativity of an atom by taking the average mean of ionization potential and electron affinity of the atom. Electronegativity decides the nature of the bond also, whether the bond is covalent, polar covalent, non-polar covalent or ionic. If the electronegativity difference between the atom A and B is 0, then the bond is pure covalent bond. Means when similar atoms are combined together, like hydrogen, chlorine, oxygen molecule, both the atoms are of the same element, their electronegativity difference is 0, that's why they form the pure covalent bond. When the electronegativity difference is small, one atom attracts the electron towards itself. At that time, polar covalent bond is formed. When the electronegativity difference is approximate 1.7, at that time the bond has the 50% covalent character and 50% ionic in nature. When the difference of electronegativity of two bonded atoms is more than 1.7, then the nature of the bond is ionic in nature. We can calculate the percentage of ionic character by using this formula as 1.6 Xa minus Xp plus 3.5 Xa minus Xp whole square. By using this formula, we can find out the electronegativity difference of any molecule, and then we, according to that, if it is 0, then covalent, pure covalent. If it is more than 0 and is smaller than 1.7, then polar covalent. If 1.7, then have 50% ionic, 50% covalent nature, and if it is 1.7, more than 1.7, then the bond is ionic in nature. Now, the general trend in the periodic property of the melting point and boiling point. Generally, across the period when we move from first group to fourth group, melting point increases and after that decreases. Carbon has the maximum melting point and tungsten has the maximum melting point among the metals. So general trend for melting and boiling point from group first to fourth increases and then decreases. Down the group, first group and second group, it is decreases down the group. In 13 to 16 group, it shows the mixed state, and in 17th and 18th group it increases down the group. Now, melting point of halides of alkali metals. If we take the melting point of first group elements like lithium chloride, sodium chloride, potassium chloride, rubidium chloride and cesium chloride. Lithium chloride, being the covalent in nature, it has lower melting point, and after that sodium chloride, potassium chloride, rubidium and cesium chloride continuously melting point decreases as we move down the group. Melting point of sodium halide. If we take the different halogens like sodium fluoride, sodium chloride, sodium bromide and sodium chloride, down the group in the 18th group, down the group melting point decreases as we go down in a group. Now next property, solubility and stability of the metal carbonate. Metal carbonate, among the metal carbonate of first group element and second group element. Only lithium carbonate decomposes on heating. The lesser stability is due to the smaller size of lithium ion, which is unstable. To stabilize the large carbonate ion, large size of carbonate ion. So because of the small size of the lithium ion, generally the stability of and solubility increases down the group for alkali metals, but for the alkaline earth metal in second group element, stability increases but the solubility decreases for the metallic carbonate as we go down the group. Next is solubility of the sulfate. Solubility of the sulfate decreases down the group for the second group elements. As barium sulfate is fairly soluble, magnesium sulfate is also soluble, calcium sulfate is sparingly soluble, but the last two, strontium and barium sulfate, are insoluble in nature. So solubility decreases down the group. Basic character and solubility of the hydroxide generally increases down the group. So this is the general trend for the carbonate, metallic sulfate and metallic hydroxide. For the metallic oxide, in the period as we move from left hand to right hand side, left hand side metals are present, that's why oxides are basic in nature. As we move from left hand to right hand side, metallic nature changes, elements nature change from metallic to non-metallic. That's why oxide nature also changed from basic nature to acidic nature. So in a period, as we move from left hand to right hand side, oxide nature changed from basic to acidic. As sodium oxide, magnesium oxide are strong. Sodium oxide is strongly basic in nature, magnesium oxide is basic in nature, aluminium oxide is amphoteric in nature. Next is silicon dioxide is weakly acidic in nature. Then phosphorus pentoxide is acidic in nature. Sulfur trioxide is strongly acidic in nature, and Cl2O7 is strongly acidic in nature. So as we move from left hand to right hand side, acidic character increases for the side. When elements form a number of oxides, as for nitrogen, N2O, NO, N2O3, NO2, N2O5. So as the percentage of oxygen increases, the acidic character increases. N2O, NO, N2O3, NO2 and N2O5. These two are neutral in nature and these three are acidic in nature. So this is the general trend. As we go down, as the percentage of oxygen increases, if the element form different oxides, then or number of oxides, we can say if an element form, as the percentage of oxygen increases, the acidic character also increases. So this is the general periodic property that we studied in this chapter: ionization potential, electron gain enthalpy, electronegativity, and some general trend in melting and boiling point, carbonate, etc. Now you have to see the exercise. Learn all the definitions and do the exercise, because that is very important. Generally reasoning will come in the exam. For exceptions they will ask you. Thank you.